Are you ready?
I'm ready. How about you?
I'm ready. I'm ready. You feel rushed? I feel rushed. You feel
No,
rushed?
I'm good.
Oh, you're good? Good.
I'm good.
All right. John Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge, go through one set of lights, pull a Yui, park in front of the store. It's got red neon lights. Dave will tell you how to have your very own show at the end. And also like and subscribe if you're listening and or watching. Tell all your friends. Come on the show with me. And we are here today with an old friend. I'm very excited that she's here. Katherine Christopher is here.
I am.
The blonde singer. Because that other one. No
Oh,
way.
come
you know that
on.
stuff?
Yeah.
So Catherine's a singer of songs. Has been on the scene for a while. And we've known each other for a long time.
A very long time. We were actually
Spring Street
neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep. That's Wallingford talk. In case anybody doesn't know. Yeah. So real quick. So what happened? You changed your hair color, and someone was like, "Oh, I like the blonde singer better." And it was you the whole time.
That's happened several times.
Really?
Yeah. I've had people come straight up and say, "This isn't the Convertibles. They had a girl with brown hair." Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, you're like, "Yo, I am the Convertibles."
That's the one.
That's funny. See, people don't listen they listen with their eyes.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, they wouldn't say that.
But you
That's funny.
when you're talking to an audience person, you kind of have to agree with them so that they'll stay.
Right. Yeah. Just yep. Yeah, you're right. No, I fired her.
Yeah. No, she wasn't any good.
Yeah, she was no good. No good. That's funny. Yeah, I guess that could be disheartening in a way because you're just kind of like, oh, this is how much people are actually paying attention, maybe.
True.
Or not.
Yeah.
I mean, most people know what's going on. I'm sure that was the exception, not the rule.
I don't know. I haven't seen anybody walk out because I had a different hair color.
Right.
And it's been short. It's been long.
Right.
It's been, all kinds of different shapes.
Yeah. I'm sure people walk out when they see me on the drums. Oh, man, that's that guy. Next. Where's the...
Not a chance.
Where's the good drummer?
No, that's him. That's John Peckman.
That's funny. So how do you want to... so you're right, the Convertibles, we could say,
The
right?
Convertibles are still doing it.
Whoa.
Yep.
That's your thing.
Yeah.
So you are the Convertibles, right? Originally?
Yeah, out of kind of default. Yeah.
Yeah. How did it all start?
Oh man,
Convertibles.
It's so many years ago, John. I don't even want to say what year it happened because it's like embarrassing. It's like confession. But the Convertibles, the members of the band back, we're talking the 80s.
Sure.
80.
Sure.
Was a band that was owned by Joel Schiavone.
Okay.
And he had this oldies thing going.
I remember that name.
At the New Haven restaurant.
Okay.
Which he owned.
Okay. All right.
And he liked to be able to have a band that when it was convenient for him, he would come out and do a comedy shtick.
Sure.
And because he owned the restaurant, he said to this band, you can play there every Wednesday.
Great.
And when I want to come out, I will come out.
Great.
And he had someone, and I don't know who the agent might have been, hiring all of these oldies, the real oldies bands.
Yeah, right.
So his band was called Be Behind and the Blue Mooners.
That's right. I remember hearing about this.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they would have these oldies bands like Danny and the Juniors.
Sure.
And the Ronettes.
Wow.
And the Drifters and
Wow.
the Coasters and all those bands.
What was this restaurant?
The New Haven restaurant, it was called.
It must have been a big deal at the time.
At the time, it really was, yeah.
That's cool.
And he decided at one point, I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh, wow.
You guys can keep the gig, play at my place, but I don't want to have the name that I thought of used.
Oh,
So
okay.
he said, pick a different name.
Oh,
So the saxophone player at the time was John Eric Cathcart.
yeah, I don't know. I remember.
Back in the day.
Yeah, sure.
And he said, how about the Convertibles? That kind of sounds like an oldie
Sure.
name.
Yeah, good name.
And so we said, yep, can't
That's
think
it?
of anything else.
Cool.
Yeah, so it was off and running with that.
Wow.
But it was.
So you were there from day one.
No. You
Oh.
know who I replaced?
Who?
Karen Barth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not realize that you guys went back that far.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
Wow. Holy crow.
Karen was in the band, and also the guitar player, Pat Keogh. His
Oh,
sister
yeah.
was in the band.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm not sure which one of them left.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it was Karen.
Crazy.
And another blonde singer.
Right. Is this before or after she was in A to the Bar or during? I don't.
I
We'll have
think
to-
she left that band to go to Eight to the Bar.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was that way.
Yeah, but she was around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was pretty wild because there was
See, this is what I love. This is Connecticut music history. No, sorry, no
It
offense.
is.
I don't
No,
mean
it really is. It really is.
no, but
And
you know what I mean. Some of these names.
Yeah,
Like,
thinking back, like one of the things that has kept my band going is the fact that I can, if I can use
Sure.
you,
Sure.
call John Peckman.
Right.
He can do it.
Sure. Yeah.
And someday I really should try to dig back deep into the memory and see how many people have
Whoa.
played in the band, because it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine.
I mean, some very, very famous people,
Mm-hmm.
some very, very good people.
Drop some names.
Jim Oblan
Oh yeah.
played with us.
Sure.
John McCurry.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jonathan Edwards.
Oh hey.
Yeah. Yeah, just
Yeah. Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of really great people. And to be able to describe the music and say, oh, to someone like, Jim Oblan,
Yeah.
you're going to be fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well.
I don't need to describe anything to you. And
No.
sure enough, it was fun.
Yeah. I know. Well, with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No problem.
But, even the first time that you sat in to play with us, it was just a gig. It wasn't like,
oh yeah.
I mean, it's not like we had to have rehearsals and,
Well. Yeah. I think whatever. I think my reputation. I was good. I was good like that. I'm a good
Yeah.
ringer.
You are.
Because just cue me, and I just watch, and off we go. And I like all kinds of music, so I probably knew
Oh,
90% of the tunes. I'm like, oh yeah.
and you never
so-
missed a beat.
Well, hey, there was that one time I missed the beat once. I remember it vividly.
Oh, God.
No, but it's great. I mean, I love. So what you would say? Well, oldies,
Yeah.
I guess, right? But
It's oldies. It's
rhythm and blues.
rhythm and blues.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of rock.
Yeah.
Old rock,
Sure.
not new rock.
Yep. All good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's so much to choose
Yeah, yeah.
from.
yeah.
It's at one point I did keep a list of the songs that we've done. We've done, like anybody else, we've done weddings and parties and graduations and all kinds of stuff. So you end up learning some jazz and
Right.
some
Right.
rock and
Yep.
and some country, and
Yep.
by request, can you do such and such? And the list ended up being close to 1,000 songs.
Crazy. What's your thing? Always a new show? Or
Always a
Yeah,
brand new show.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Always a brand new show. I learned that off of a cartoon show from
Oh, really?
when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, though. It's a thing.
It
That's
is
a
a thing. And I don't know that we've ever done a show that's exactly like anything else we've ever done.
I don't remember. I mean, I did quite a few.
Yeah.
I had that run at Bill's I did with you guys for at least 2 summers, I think.
I
Right?
think it was probably 3.
Wow.
But yeah.
And they were never the same.
Nope. No,
All
never,
good.
never
All
the
good
same.
stuff.
And it's partly the band,
Yep.
and it's the other part is the audience,
Oh yeah. Right.
because we have some followers
Yep. Yep.
that come out And then the funniest thing I think that happened was we were playing somewhere and this dad came out and he was standing off in the sidelines looking at the band.
Sure.
And I thought to myself, what is this man? He's not dancing. He's got his arms folded across his chest.
Yeah, right.
We took a break and I said, hey, how's it going? He said, good. I had to come out here because my daughter and her friends are coming out here every weekend, and I wanted to see what this convertible cult thing is all about.
Hey.
And I was like, all right, we made cult status.
That's funny. Did he like it?
He loved it.
Was it like, okay?
Yeah, no, he was.
What blood do I drink? I'm in.
Yeah,
what
right.
do I do? Yeah, what's the initiation?
You're good now. You made it through a
The
night.
Convertibles cult band. That should be your new convertible. Yeah.
It was
That's
cute.
cool. That's cool. So he approved. That's
He
good.
approved, and you know, I've seen people, you know, because being on stage, you're performing and all, but you're also taking a lot in, and I've seen people on first dates,
Sure.
and then they fall in love, and then they're calling up, can you play at our wedding?
Sure. And then can you play at my second wedding?
My second wedding. Oh, we're not together anymore, but we're still friends, and
Yeah.
we're gonna have a party, and can you come play at that? So
Yeah.
it's just been kind of like a nice roll down the hill.
Sure. Yeah, right. Right. No, that's cool. I don't know if we should talk about this. You
What's
tell
that?
me if we should or shouldn't, because I don't want to disrespect anybody who this might be their loved ones, but I remember someone died at Bill's Seafood when we were playing. Do you remember that?
I do.
Oof.
I do. That was really shocking.
That was heavy. It's as heavy as it gets.
Well, you know, I still tell that story because I have to respect that man. He died with a smile on his face.
I've had sign me up for that one.
Yeah,
You remember?
right.
He
I
was out
do.
on the dance floor dancing with two women.
Young
And he was
girls.
young girls. He was having a grand old time.
Yeah, he went up to the bar, and it was a hot night, and
Yes.
everybody's sweating like crazy.
Yep.
We had enough time to do one last encore, and he said to the bartender, you know, I'm going to have this drink. Bartender said to him, please be careful because you've been dancing and it's hot.
Oh.
He takes the drink and he swigs some back, and he just keeps going and clunk on the floor.
And that was it.
That was it.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, before he went down, he said, "What? There's no other way to go," and clunk.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's
There's
crazy.
No other way to go.
That's weird.
It is.
I guess
It's-
be careful what you say, maybe. But then again,
he was really old.
who can complain? Sign me up for that one.
Yeah. Right.
Stomach full of clams and a couple of drinks, dancing with some broads, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I remember, because it was a kerfluffle. You know, we were playing. What's going on over there? A fight or whatever?
Yeah. And
I'm sorry. I remember seeing the feet up. You know, just feet. And I thought, oh, some guy passed out. You know, and the ambulance came and they took him away. And I was like, wow, that's too bad. I hope that guy's going to be okay. And then kind of not forgot about it, but like it happened. And then we started breaking down. And I remember at the end of the night asking, so does anyone know about that guy? And the bartender was like, oh, he's dead.
Yep. There was no coming back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, what a way to go.
Yeah.
Did you see a couple weeks ago, I had my cousin-in-law, who's a supernatural investigator, a paranormal investigator.
Yeah.
Maybe he should do a run-through of Bill C. I wonder, you know what I mean? Because I'm sorry, we should not talk about this because I don't want to disrespect. But we know for a fact that someone
Well, of course.
expired at Bill's Seafood.
Yeah. And that.
Sorry,
No, that man was a regular.
No, but what
there.
Bill's? I don't want to tell people that Bill's Seafood is haunted. I didn't say that.
No, not a bit. But I think the takeaway is that there's a good time. I mean, there is a good time there. It was just his time.
I can't say what I'm thinking. Does anyone know what I'm thinking right now? Does anyone know? Yeah, we really knocked them dead that night.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we did. Oh my
that's
God.
terrible. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. No disrespect.
But you know what I'm saying though, John. From the stage, you see all kinds of stuff.
That was a first.
That was a first for me too, for
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
But you do see, people on dates,
Yeah.
people having arguments,
yeah.
people, making deals and
Sure.
and whatever's going on.
Yep.
And as a musician, you're singing and smiling and having fun.
You're
and
checking it all out.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciated it. I've seen a lot too. So started off there. Is that the only place you guys were playing?
At the time, I was still in college.
Okay. And you grew up where? Do you want to
yeah, I grew up
get into all that?
Yeah, sure. I grew up in Southington.
Okay.
When I was finished with college, I moved to Wallingford.
Okay.
Stayed there for 18 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and the funny thing is living in Wallingford meant that everywhere I played was going to be a drive. So I was playing on the shoreline a lot.
Sure.
Just digging a path from Wallingford down to...
Although Wallingford is easy highway here, highway there.
Yeah.
At least it's a decent commuter town. But
Yeah,
still.
it sure is, but it's not right there.
Right. Yeah.
So middle of the night, we were still playing. Back in the olden days, you're playing till 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Yep.
Breaking down, getting home.
Yep.
3:30.
Yep.
I moved to the shoreline,
Okay.
and I play everywhere else now. So still a lot of commuting, but
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
that's okay.
So
okay.
back then in the 80s, the gigs started off on like a once a week thing.
Yep.
Bill Seafood. Then there was a bar down the street that heard about us, the Highliner,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they liked us.
Mhm.
So we started playing there the day that Hurricane Gloria came through in 1985.
Right. Sure. I remember that.
Canceled us for that night, even though we went.
Yeah.
And they said, just come back and play. Play on Friday nights. We could use a band.
Hey.
And the guy never told us to not come, so we just kept going.
You just kept showing up.
Yep.
Wow.
18 years.
Wow.
Every
Hey, that's
Friday.
cool.
Yeah.
Can't ask for better than that.
Yeah. So we made a name for ourselves
Yeah.
along Connecticut shoreline. So
Sure.
anywhere from like New Haven
Yep.
out to New London area.
Yep.
So our schedule for years was Wednesday, Bill Seafood. Thursday, we played at Cafe 9 in
Right.
New Haven.
That's right.
We played Fridays at the Highliner.
Mm-hmm.
Saturdays were kind of a
Whatever.
mishmash.
Yep.
And Sundays, we played at Water's Edge.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we
So
were
you're just hitting it.
busy,
Yeah.
but also working full time.
Wow. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, but you know what? When you get out on stage,
Sure.
it's after the drums have been set up
Sure.
or after the stuff is set up,
Yep.
it's almost like there's no clock.
Yeah.
And you don't feel it
Yeah.
till the next day.
Yeah. Until the next day. Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. Well, that's pretty crazy. Yeah. I remember most of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them, it's all right to forget.
Yeah.
I mean, we had plenty of gigs that, everybody pack up, or we played in Florida, Canada,
Wow. Yeah.
But those were the one-offs where, all right, I'm glad I'm not on the road.
Yeah. Right.
I'm not a road kind of person.
Right. So you just kind of get your circuit together.
Yeah.
And you're doing it. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I think with that kind of thing going on, it gave us a lot of opportunity to say, okay, well, let's do this, or let's, learn some new songs.
Right. You keep it moving.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
So there was always that momentum going.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's cool.
In hindsight, you look back and you say, what in the world happened? When did that happen?
Yeah, right. Could have been anywhere in there.
Yeah.
Anywhere in there. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I sometimes think about it. I'm like, wow, that was a lot of lives.
A lot of lives, a lot of
Living.
songs, a lot
A lot of laughs.
Yeah,
I had a lot of laughs,
for sure, and a lot of situations where you, like that guy, like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Yeah. Oh, boy. Imagine how he feels.
Well, probably better.
Yeah. Yeah, like I say, in the grand scheme of things, sign me up for that one. That would be okay.
Seriously.
You know? Wow. All right. So how did you get into music? How did it all start? Were your parents musical? What's the deal?
Well, kind of, yeah. My dad played accordion,
Okay.
and he was in a band called the Music Makers.
Oh, wow.
Probably I'm sure it was in Southington, and I'm sure for the times it was a thing,
Yeah.
probably 25 guys all playing accordion.
Yeah, right.
And my mom had a really, really nice voice.
Oh, cool.
So, and back in the 70s and 80s, not the 80s, but the 70s, I'm sure my parents were like, get these kids into something that they're not going to get in trouble with. So my mom signed my sister and I up to sing at church.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
So with singing at church came a mandatory guitar lesson. So we were all strummy,
Right, sure.
playing guitar, singing in church. And then there was this trio of strummy guitar players who had a singer who was leaving them.
Hey.
Yeah, and someone said, well, how about her?
Yeah.
Why don't you try out to do that? So I was really, really young, and they had gigs, and I said, okay, I'll try.
Hey.
And it was the very beginning of me being exposed to being in front of an audience.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, that's kind of cool.
had a lot of learning to do. I mean, I was
But
frozen
there's
and
a friendly audience more so than you say my first gig's at a bar or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
True.
you kind of get your wings, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
In a friendly place.
I literally would have people come up to me and go, "Girl, you need to loosen up."
For someone at church to be telling you that, I can only imagine.
Yeah. So it kind of went from.
So then you started
that-
drinking before you did the church gig.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm loosened up now.
Yeah, I'm loose. I'm loose now. No, but from there, there were parties and gigs that happened.
Sure.
So, like when I say it's kind of like rolling down a hill.
Yeah. That was the initial pebble or whatever.
Somehow I got a little shove, and I got a taste of it, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
'Cause, you sing,
Sure.
which is great.
Yeah.
And then someone gives you a little bit of money, and you're like, wow, all this
is
fun and money
this is
too.
amazing. Yeah, I know. It's always a joke
Yeah.
with me. Yeah, whenever I'm like, all this and money too. It's amazing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's cool.
But I don't know what I'd do without it.
Right?
Not
No.
the money, the singing.
Sure.
It's this wonderful, wonderful social life that's handed to you.
Yeah. Right.
And
Yeah. It gives you balance.
It
in
does.
life. Yeah.
It does. It's not really work.
Mm-hmm.
I've never left the house saying, "Oh, I've got to go to work."
Well, because you didn't have to set the drums up. That's why. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
No, but it loading the
Oh
crap
yeah,
into
I
the
know.
car
I'm just joking.
and
Yeah.
picking out what to wear and what songs are we going to do.
Right.
It's not
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I get to go play,
Yeah. Right.
and that's why they call it play.
For life.
Yeah.
You're still. Yeah. That's great.
Still doing it.
Like you say, and if you didn't,
What then?
Yeah, you just be like work,
Yeah.
life, whatever.
Yeah. No, I need to get out.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, why not?
And the funniest thing is, I played a gig this past weekend. A woman came up to me, and she said, "I have followed you forever."
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And she was quite a bit older, And I said, wow, where did you see the band?
Yeah,
and She
right.
started to name some places. And so I went up and started to do the gig. And when I saw her dance, I said to myself, oh my God, it's that lady.
Yeah, right. I remember
She's
her.
awesome.
That's so funny. Yeah, right. Right. Wow.
But yeah, she came out and danced the entire night, and I went away
And
from
she
it
didn't
saying,
die, so
She
that's good.
didn't.
That's a plus. Sorry, I gotta.
We didn't kill her. But no, it was when something like that happens,
Yeah.
you say to yourself, wow, that is a good life to have.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
no one comes up to my desk at work and
Right.
says,
Right.
oh, I haven't seen you since last week.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. I hear. Well, that's what I was gonna say. You know, you have no. Well, I guess you do have some way to know, but you don't really know how many people's lives you directly affect in a meaningful way. You know,
It's true.
Kinda. You know what I mean? Like you say, you've been doing it long enough that you've put people together that
Yeah.
are married, that created other human people.
Yeah.
You know, maybe, possibly.
Maybe possibly at a gig.
Yeah. 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 That's pretty cool. I know that happens to me. I've been teaching long enough that I'll have like grown people come up to me and go, hey man, you remember me? And I'm like, no, I don't think so. They're like, you were my drum teacher when I was 7 years old or 8 years old. And yeah, you were cool. You were such a cool guy. Hey, that's nice. You know, because to me, I always joke with them. I go, I probably remember your name, but I'm like, if you showed me a picture of you at age 8, I probably would, like you say with that woman, you
Yeah.
see her dance and you're like, oh yeah, her.
Oh,
You know.
yeah, very distinctive.
Yeah. So it is not, I guess what I'm saying, I understand because, to me, it's a job and I'm having fun and I like the kids and it's cool. I'm in their life for a while and then I'm not. And you don't think about it. And then you just go, oh, wait, hey, maybe it did matter.
Yeah, it really does matter. I mean, I think I get, and I apologize, John, for all the times that you played with us and I stood right in front of you in your way. You couldn't see all the great stuff that I saw.
Oh, well, I saw enough. I could see enough.
I saw plenty enough.
Yeah, I saw enough. Yeah.
But, I'm right there in front and I get to see people letting go.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever their day was like, whatever their week was like.
Yeah.
It makes a difference to me too.
Yeah,
that,
right.
I'm giving them something.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is giving me something.
Yeah.
It's not only just an outlet for them out there dancing and acting crazy, but it's an outlet for me too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say before that, there's nothing against people that have a show, because that's a thing too.
Sure.
But in a way, you are at the, is the bow the front of a boat? The bow? I don't know. I don't know boats, but you're looking and thinking, what do these people need right now?
Right.
What do they need? What do these people in this room at this time now need?
Yeah, that's really well said.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so it's, I guess in a way, I don't know if it matters, but like if you did the same show every time, there would be some people that would be like, oh, this is cool because it's a presentation. But like you say, whether they realize it or not, you're trying to figure out how to give them what they need. And for, like I say, you're customizing the experience.
Exactly.
That's rare. That's pretty rare. I mean, a lot of bands do that, but some bands don't or whatever. But that's got to be meaningful,
It is. It's always
You're
been-
reflecting, like
Yeah.
you're describing a thing that you're seeing them and they give you energy and you're kind of reflecting it back. And sometimes you're like that didn't work or that did work or it did, and we'll just move it to here and figure it out. And then the gig's over.
Right. And
That's cool.
as with anything that's great and fun, there are gigs that you just don't want them to end because it was so much fun.
Sure.
And then the
Yeah.
next day you're like, what did I do to myself? My feet hurt so bad in my back.
Well, that's what we do.
But yeah, when you're in it, when you're in that space and time where, it's not setting up, it's not breaking down, it's the music, it's the energy.
Yep.
that's going on. Yeah, I don't think I could do, like, you go off and you see a show where it's the same
Sure.
show every single performance. I don't know if I could do that. I'd be like, hey, let's do this.
Right, right. Well, yeah, like you say, you find we all find our thing.
Yeah.
Like you say, some people that want to see a show are going to a show, whether or not they realize that's what you guys are doing. But it is interactive. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
sure.
in a way.
But don't
Pretty
forget,
cool.
it's a cult.
Yeah, oh, it's an interactive cult.
Right.
The interactive convertibles cult. Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, do you think about it like this? Because I realize for me, for whatever this means, I don't know. But in the grand scheme of things, but you're problem solving. You know what I mean? Which I like. Like I like being in a scenario where I have to find a solution to this moment. You know, like you say,
Yeah.
if you're doing the same thing every time, you'd be like, hey, let's try this.
Sure.
Like I'm kind of restless like that too. And that's kind of your function is like, okay, I'm here. I'm in the thing. I have the ingredients. I got all the stuff. Let's figure out how to make this work right now, here, now.
Sure.
That keeps you engaged rather than we're going to run it down and it's not working. It's not working. Well, it's too late to change now,
Right.
you know, and it's
Well,
not like that with,
It's
a beautiful thing.
I do keep a prompt of
Sure.
like set lists. Of
Sure.
course.
Sure.
Anybody does. But I can't disregard the people that are there. They're
Right.
they're the paying people, the customers. Gotta keep everybody in mind, including the band. I mean, I don't want to kill the band either,
Right.
because people are screaming for
Yeah.
another song that's gonna send us into cardiac arrest. But
Yeah.
you've got so many things to consider, like the bartenders, the waitresses, the
Yeah, right, right.
club owners, the people who just got there, people who are leaving, all that stuff.
Well, I mean, I dare say, who knows? But the fact that you are thinking about that whole picture is what makes you the good bet to work at this joint. It's kind of stupid, but I think about this. My secret life is as a karaoke host. It's like I get people that host. It's like it's not about you though. You have to think about the whole thing of keeping everybody happy, keeping the cash register moving, keeping the riffraff under control, like that whole thing of like, I'm employed by the bar for this night. How do I make this happen so that everybody's happy, the employees are happy, I'm happy, they're happy, everybody's happy.
Exactly.
It's a different thing
And
rather than I'm here to just ego trip or I'm going to do my thing. And that's why you're still doing it probably.
Well, yeah.
Part of it.
Yeah, that's part of it. I mean, it's fortunately
Big picture thinking.
I've had lots and lots of experience in, this didn't work or this did work.
Right.
But I mean, right out the gate, I wouldn't know where to begin. Putting set lists together. How long do we play? When do we take breaks?
Yeah.
Things like that. It's the experience that gets you.
Hey, that's pretty cool. I'm lucky enough to have that experience too. I think about that all the time about living in New England, or at least in Connecticut. It's like we do have opportunities. Like you say, you could have found 4 or 5 joints to kind of keep your thing rolling. What if you lived in Oklahoma? You know what I mean? Like,
I'd be doing something different.
Well,
we would really.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
right.
Even if in the music world, you really do have to adjust.
Yeah.
All the time.
All the time.
And that's why it's live music.
Yep. See what I'm saying? Live music. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. That's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty wild. When did you feel like when you stepped into the role, when you were like, okay, I'm going to be the leader, you felt like, okay, I'm kind of getting this together, or you just kind of doing it and then realizing with hindsight, like, oh, hey, I'm actually running this thing?
Well, Again, by default.
Like, was there a leaping off? Were you like, okay, here we go? Or,
Well, it crept up on me. I would have a core group of 4 or 5 musicians,
yeah,
and one would leave, or one would say, "Oh, I can't play these 2 weeks."
yeah, yeah.
So plug another person in. Okay, who's got the PA? All of a sudden, I realized I had the PA. So
Yeah.
we all want to play. We're going to have to have the equipment to do it. So somewhere along the line, back in I want to say in the 80s, I don't know if I was tagged or by default or out of stubbornness.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to play.
You just said, I'll do it.
Yep, I'll do it. And, I try to be really, really fair with everybody, too.
Yeah.
How do you feel? What do you want to do? Do
Right.
you want to take this gig? I don't know.
Yeah, no. I always felt comfortable. You know, it was always fun. It was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to play some good music. You know, nothing too crazy.
Nothing too
It was
crazy.
like, all right, we're just going to play music together. We're just going to kind of...
And we're going to have some laughs.
And we're going to have some laughs, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not like look at me music. It's kind of like look at us.
Yeah, look at
The whole-
us
the whole-
and look at them, too.
Yeah. Yeah, killer. Who were some of your musicians that fired you up, or actually singers? Like, who were some of your role models?
Oh, God. I did so much driving going back and forth to college. Bonnie Raitt, Joni Mitchell,
Sure.
Linda Ronstadt,
Sure.
on cassette tapes in my car.
Yeah.
All the way to New Haven, all the way back every day.
Yeah.
I got really deep into Billie Holiday,
Mm.
some of the jazz singers, Ella Fitzgerald, some of that. But I love so many different genres
Sure.
that, I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of
Yeah.
records and
Yeah.
CDs
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
still cassette tapes
Yeah, right.
where I plug them in, and depends on the mood. But for real, Patsy Cline,
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
too many to mention.
Too many.
I don't want to leave anybody out.
Yeah. I know the feeling. No, I know what you mean. I don't know. Who were the core players for the longest?
Wow.
Besides yourself, like when we think of the Convertibles, who are we thinking of?
You know what?
Because I kind of would drop in here and there, so I don't
Yeah.
really know.
There's the beginning Convertibles were Pat Keogh, Bill Duplessis was the drummer,
Okay.
Eric Cathcart, calls himself Eric, but he was John back then.
Okay.
And Andy Jarko played with us. And then that kind of transitioned into more of the R&B stuff.
Okay.
We also had a steady gig going up and down the Connecticut River on the boats.
Oh yeah, sure.
And Victor Mattson was a saxophone player that joined the band. And he was so cute. One night he said to me, after maybe our second or third gig, he said, "I think we could make some really beautiful music together."
Hey.
I said to myself, that is so corny.
Yeah, right.
But he meant it. He meant
Right,
the music.
That's funny.
So Victor very much steered us into R&B. So
Okay.
we threw in a lot of James Brown.
So before that, it was like more oldies type.
Very, very much the 50s doo-wop
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
From there, we transitioned into more R&B. James Brown, Aretha Franklin, Sam Cooke,
Yep.
a lot of Sam Cooke.
Yeah.
So it was Victor. For quite a while, we had George Baker in our band.
Oh yeah.
John Rispoli,
Yep.
drummer. Dave Nemec,
Yeah.
playing bass.
Yep.
We had, and that core band kind of floated along for quite a while. Then I had Jim Montez.
Right. Yep.
With Dave.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's when I kind of did the Bills thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It was that lineup.
And I mean, there are so many musicians. I'm afraid to leave anyone out.
I know. Yeah.
But you know, I can't say that any one version is any better than another.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now, I'm playing with some really great guys. Armand Morgan on guitar. Jake Cosgrove is a drummer. Do you know him?
No.
Let's see. Who else am I playing with? It's just all over the place.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And each person changes it a little bit, no doubt.
Yeah,
somehow.
yeah. And, you know, I kind of joke around. I say, well, we're convertibles because we convert.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we convert. Yeah, John Smeda.
Yeah, John Smeda, yeah. He's awesome.
The dude, yeah. Jimmy Biggins, the late great.
Oh,
he
my
used to do those
gosh,
gigs
yeah.
too.
Jimmy Biggins. He played at my wedding.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Cartels played at my wedding.
Hey.
Jimmy was with them.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
He was
sweet.
great. Was it was us, right? Because some people still refer to me as the Admiral. Remember? Do you remember that gig?
Yes.
We were like, we're not going to say where it was. We played somewhere, and it was a country club.
Mm-hmm.
And someone is
A yacht club.
the yacht club. Is that what it was? He was the Admiral,
He was the Admiral.
right?
Yeah.
And then I was telling that story about the Admiral, and then people would refer to me as the Admiral, just for whatever. I was the Admiral for a while. Yeah, crazy.
I mean, at one, Danny Cipriano played with us
Yep.
for many years.
Sure.
Howie West, guitar player.
Him, I don't know. I don't think I know.
Howie goes way back to, like, he was playing in the 60s, an amazing, amazing guitar player.
Wow.
And, you know, just incredible, you know, it's where, like, you get these little sparks that go off in your head, like, oh my God, I remember the songs that we did because I had this really great guitar player, or the horn lines that we had because I had these really great horn players, or there were times with keyboard players, Joe McWilliams, one of my favorite keyboard players ever. And you know what? On top of all of the musicianship, I want to say for the most part, really great people, you know?
Well, you know.
Supportive and respectful.
Right,
and
right.
Funny.
Right, right. Well, yeah, I mean, not that any of us are, well, who knows? You know, you never know. You could die on the dance floor. But I think about it, you know, in the end, when you start to take stock, I guess, of like when you realize, like, okay, I'm pretty much, this is what I'm going to do. There might be other couple of things. Start to look back and I realize, you know, the first instinct is what I didn't do, what didn't happen, what I wish happened. And then I just think, yeah, but in the end, I made a lot of real friends that I wouldn't have made at the office or whatever.
Yeah.
And I look back and I go, man, I have a lifetime. I mean, I'm still doing the show of one person after another that most of these people I played with, that I'm friends with, I'm like, wow. So in the end, that's kind of what's cool about it is actual friendships based on making something together that was real.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah.
It's almost
that's
like
cool.
We went out to war together.
Yeah.
And we had each other's back.
Yeah.
And we supported each other.
Yep.
And, yeah, we told some jokes in the foxhole.
Sure. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, I wouldn't trade it.
No, not
you know,
a bit.
in the end, you know, pretty groovy. Anything else you want to, we're not, I mean, we got a little bit, but I just want to make sure there's nothing that you got a St. Patrick's gig?
No.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
There were years that I played at Cafe 9.
Oh, yeah, okay.
After the parade.
Oh, yeah.
And a little too insane.
Yeah.
A little too insane.
Yeah. It's nutty.
Yeah, it's not one of my favorite holidays.
Nope. Yeah, I hear you.
So what do you have coming up for gigs?
I'm I am doing in April. I'm doing a gig with the Running on Empty band. I don't know if you know. It's kind of like a not just Jackson Browne, but like Laurel Canyon scene.
Yeah.
And all good players. I'm doing one gig with them at the Wall Street Theater in Norwalk. It's kind of a big deal. It's like a real gig. Well, okay. So I'm doing that coming up. And then Christine Ullman, I'm doing all her summer gigs.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, because her drummer Lauren is going out with Mary Chapin Carpenter, and I'm taking the seat just for the summer, which is cool. Yeah.
Wow.
So
she's awesome.
Yeah. So I have 30 songs to learn. I'm just kind of learning them 3 at a time, 4 at a time, whatever.
Sure.
Just get jamming. So I got a bunch of dates with her over the summer, and that's really it. Gig wise, so far, which is fine.
It's early.
Yeah, it's early. Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I don't play as much as I used to. I don't seem to miss it as much because I'm kind of busy.
Sure.
I don't think about it. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I got to get back out there, and then I do, and then I don't, and then I do, and then I don't. So whatever.
Yeah.
It'd be
Well,
fun.
you get to a point where you say, "Oh, I've got a gig tonight. I can't do this or that because
Right.
I've got to do that.
Right.
I've got to kind of
Yeah.
save up for that."
Yeah, I know.
But there's never a regret.
No.
Never a regret.
No, I can't say so. I don't think so. Yeah, not a lot of regrets. I don't know. You know what questions are coming. Do you know what questions are coming?
No.
You don't know?
No. When do we get paid?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Desert Island albums. Just a few.
Oh yeah. Okay. Desert Island albums. I would have to say I go to this all the time. Ry Cooder, Bop Till You Drop.
Oh wow.
Gotta.
Okay, great. Don't know that one. All right, good.
Oh.
I'm gonna yeah.
Fabulous album.
I bet.
Beatles. Any Beatles.
Any.
Yeah, really seriously, any Beatles.
Any preferred era, it doesn't even matter. All.
No,
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah.
I would take any.
That's cool. So you were into them from day one.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. They were what I listened to through a transistor radio and the little string earplug. It was.
Yeah.
I can still I can still see in my mind.
Wow.
Running around the yard.
Yeah.
She loves you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. and just like yesterday too.
Yeah, right.
It was right there.
Yeah.
I think also it's such a wide array, but
Yeah.
I mean I like jazz. I like Bill Evans.
Yeah.
Conversations.
Cool. I'll get on it.
Burt Bacharach.
Sure.
Elvis Costello.
Yeah. What's your favorite? What are some of your favorite albums or whatever? Because I go pretty Elvis deep.
I can't think of any.
Yeah.
I can't think of the names of them.
Oh yeah, right.
I love him.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we like Sam Cooke Night Beat album, right? That was the one you turned me on to it, or I turned you one way or the other. But that's one.
Yeah, Sam Cooke. There is nothing that he did that I would turn away from.
No, me neither. I sometimes like he, I mean, just like off the top of my head, him, Marvin Gaye, Robin Zander. Those are like Little Richard.
Yeah.
That's it. Those are my favorite singers.
Yeah.
That's all, and Sam Cooke is like, if they scientifically said Sam Cooke was the greatest singer that ever lived, I'd be like, sure. Yeah, it makes sense.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that.
Well, it goes from having been singing all those oldie things all the way up to today where I have a 19-year-old daughter who has turned me on to songs, music from like The Strokes and
right.
Hippocampus
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Still going.
this wide, and
Yeah.
and there's still more to come.
Yep.
But everything Nat King Cole,
Sure.
Ella Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
Aretha Franklin, any day, any
Yeah.
song.
Right. Anytime. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Desert island food.
Desert island food.
I don't know why I think that's interesting. It's just a
It
question I
is.
started asking.
Yeah.
I never hear anybody talk about food on podcasts.
Well, pizza.
Sure.
Pizza.
That's-
Ice cream.
Yeah.
All
the bad stuff.
I talked to somebody and they said, well, what do you like to eat? And I said, well, what does a teenager like to eat?
Sure.
But, I really love
Yeah, right.
salad too. So
Yeah, I do too.
I
Yeah.
balance it out.
Sure.
Chicken,
Sure.
salad,
Sure.
pizza.
Yeah.
I've gotten to be a pretty good cook.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So
That's cool.
anything from Mexican
Yep.
down home,
Yeah.
shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't eat red meat, but I do a lot of substituting.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Far out. Is there any one particular concert or show that you saw that stands out that you were like, this, I want to do this. This is what I want to get. If I can get to this. Is there anything that stands out? Or just a great show?
I have two.
I'm ready.
Eric Clapton.
Okay.
It was a Clapton concert where the opener on stage was Robert Cray.
Oh.
And then they had this chair over by the edge of the stage, and this guy, blonde hair, sitting down on this folding chair playing guitar, Derek Trucks.
Yeah, sure.
Clapton comes out, and he does his thing, and then they all played together.
Wow.
It was incredible.
Where was this?
It was probably Mohegan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe Mohegan. And then Aretha Franklin.
Sure.
I saw her at Oakdale. Now,
Wow. I never saw her.
person
One of my
comes out
regrets.
and says, oh, we're running just a little late. Miss Franklin has a little bit of a cold, so, she'll be out in a few moments. Everybody hang in there. That woman came out and sang.
Yeah, right.
Like there was
Yeah.
not a single thing. You would never know she was wearing a beautiful white gown.
Wow.
I cried for the first 4 songs, and, the person I was with said, you better stop crying because you're missing the show.
Yeah, right. No, I know.
It was incredible. I mean,
I can imagine.
I had I was good friends with Mike Spurndle, who owned Toad's Place.
Right.
Mike gave me passes to see any show I wanted.
Cool.
So, and then he was generous enough to let us open up for a lot of shows.
Yeah.
So I got to open up for Little Richard.
Oh, I was there.
Were you there?
Oh, yeah. I'll never forget. It was one of the greatest things ever.
It was hysterical.
Oh, yeah. My memory is he stopped. So Little Richard at Toads, he just, does his thing. He stops. The band's playing. Stop. He goes, look at me. I'm history. Alive.
It was so great.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Little Richard at Toads.
Little Richard, I got to open up for so many wonderful bands. Tower Power, B.B. King. I've seen
Sure.
B.B. King probably more than his family.
Wow. Yeah, right. Probably.
And I loved him. I felt like I could be a relative. I loved him
Oh,
so
really?
much.
Yeah. That's cool.
And, all the shows that used to be at Toads.
Yeah.
And
I made a list
yeah?
someday. Yeah. I was thinking about it. I was going to make a mix Toads memories because I started to think about all the things I saw there over the years. And I'm like, holy crow. Yeah, it was a lot.
That's
of good
history in itself.
stuff. It is.
I mean,
yeah, definitely. No doubt. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, Little Richard at Toads that's pretty hard to top. That was
I mean,
that was way at the top of the
we
list.
had NRBQ the most
Sure.
on a rotation. Who else? Ricky Lee Jones,
Sure.
that famous show.
I wasn't there.
she wanted everyone in the back room who was playing pool to stop.
Oh, right. I remember. I
Come
read
out.
about this in the book. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone from our local people to big names were there.
Yeah.
And that kind of leaves a hole in my heart that
I know what you mean. I mean, I still to this day just the smell of that place walking in is exciting. No, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're at Toads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big deal. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. I saw, well, two things that you say crying. I went to see when Brian Wilson first kind of emerged, like in 2000 or something like that.
I forgot Beach Boys on my desert island.
Oh, that's okay. You can add it.
Okay.
Just say it now.
Put that on.
Yeah.
Beach Boys.
But I remember seeing he did Pet Sounds top to bottom for the first time, and no one had even seen him in years. Like this was like when he first kind of came out with that band, and it was like, it was so funny because if you know Pet Sounds, you get to Sloop John B. the end, and he goes, "Now we're gonna flip the record over," and God Only Knows is coming. It's coming, and you're just trying to hang on to get your act together, and just like this, and as soon as it started, and you hear that French horn, everyone you could hear, everyone just went like that, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna cry, and I'm like, oh okay, and I was like, I just kind of like looked around to see if anybody saw me, and everybody was going like this. Everyone was looking around to make sure no one else saw him. It was funny. But that, you talk about a moment. I go, everybody in this room is trying not to cry right now, and failing. Yeah. And then yours.
I'm not crying. You are.
Yeah. I'm not crying. I don't cry. I saw Paul McCartney once at Madison Square Garden. Probably. Might be close to, again, 20 years ago with his band. But that's scary because you don't know what's coming. So once a song starts, you're like, oh, my God, oh, God, oh, God. And then it's over. And then you're waiting for the next song. And you're just kind of like, what's going to happen?
Right.
Oh, no, he's going to the piano. Is this going to be Hey Jude? What's going to happen? And you're just like waiting for the beating. You're like, he's going to do something that's going to, and then it might be something that you don't, you're like, oh, Live and Let Die. Good. I don't care about this one. I can kind of get my act together. And then next, you don't know what's coming next. It's funny. It's like being brutalized. So funny. All right. Well, you know what?
So let me ask you.
Yeah, please.
Desert Island albums for you.
Me?
Yeah.
White Album, Beatles. Yeah. Kick Me Hard, NRBQ.
Oh,
These are right off the top of my head.
Mine would be Yankee Stadium.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can't argue with that. Yeah. I mean, Kick Me Hard was my first, so that's whatever. Gotcha. Sly Stone's Greatest Hits.
Yeah.
That one. Smile by the Beach Boys, which is a weird one. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Cheap Trick's very first album, 1976.
Of course. The
Red Clay Ramblers, Chuck and the Frizz, 1979. String band no one knows about, one of my favorites ever. And then it just goes on and on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know who I miss? John Prine.
Oh, yeah. I don't know enough about, I don't go John Prine deep.
You know what?
Imperial Bedroom, Elvis Costello. That would be another one,
yes.
Too. It's a great one.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a million of them.
Yeah.
Too many. Yeah, I got to get into the John Prine thing.
Yeah, I love the really early stuff. The middle
Night
years.
Beat, Sam Cooke. That's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, there's so much music that is gonna take you on one of those wild rides.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm crying.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I don't know what's gonna happen next.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what we do.
That is what we do.
That's what we do. All right. You have anything you want to add? We could get out of here. It would be perfect right on the button.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you, John. Peckman.
No, thank you. I mean, just for the record, I did have to scramble for a guest this week because I had a last-minute cancellation, but you were always on the list, and I told you this before. Whoa.
Thank you.
Well, of course. Because you're one of my oldest friends, and you are part of I want to get the whole story, and you are part of the story of the Connecticut music scene. You're part of it. You were always on the list. I don't know who is waiting.
Everyone wants to talk with you, John.
Well, I don't know that. If you say so. And then I just kind of reached out and I'm like, perfect. Because I didn't know. All I needed was that from you. And I'm like, boom. Yeah, good, perfect, good excuse. Because I wanted this to happen. I just didn't know when.
Wow, thank you so much.
Of course. No, my pleasure.
I feel like I'm on the in with the in crowd now.
Ah. Well, hey, I'm sorry you feel that way. All right, I'm going to press the button.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. Hey. John Peckman Podcast. Katherine Christopher was here, finally. Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over to the bridge, go through one set of lights, pull a Yui, park in front of the building with the red neon lights. This is getting tighter. My rap is getting tighter. Like and subscribe. Dave will tell you how to have your very own podcast right here in our beautiful studio. Thank you for listening. Drive safe. Be careful. Any last words?
I love you, John Peckman.
Oh, I love you too, Katherine. Thank you. That is all.
If you'd like to start your own podcast, give us a call at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Our professionally designed podcast space is here for all your recording needs. Rent out our studio to do interviews with up to 4 people, to record audiobooks, social media content, and all other recorded material. Our rentals include a private studio along with our professional-grade podcasting equipment, and we can customize your output to whatever your needs are. We also have green screen capabilities, which will expand to video capability if you so wish. So check us out here at convalley.net/podcast.